Wop jam nitty gritty. You're listening to the boy from the big bad city. This is Jam Hot. This is Jam Hot.
Welcome to Who's Hot with your host, Wil Chung.
Hello, and thank you for downloading the latest episode of the Who's Hot podcast. I am here with Becky Neal, who seems to be on every single UKOCR podcast at this moment in time. Becky, hi, how are you doing?
Hello, for the third time this week.
Yeah, I think you're looking either to take my job or take Ian's job, or even, God help us, take Alan's job.
I wouldn't dare.
I'm sure that it would be great to have a different voice on there, and something like a southern accent rather than the very broad Yorkshire and Lancasterian accent that we have from the guys. We are here to have this special episode of Who's Hot, talk about the British Ninja Championships actually at Gloucester that happened this weekend, and we've got two special guests. First of all, we've got Beth Lodge. Beth, hi, how are you doing?
Hi, I'm really good, thank you, and thank you for having me.
Oh, no, thank you very much for joining us. And also, we've got Viktor Mikhailov. Viktor, hi, how are you?
Hi, I'm good, thank you. And you?
Yes, I'm very well, thank you. So Beth and Viktor, both the winners of the event over the weekend. Hopefully, you've all seen it on Instagram. I've seen some fantastic images and videos over the weekend. Beth, let's start with you first. I guess let's go through the obstacle list and talk about, I guess, the layout of how the ninjas work.
Yeah, so this was an interesting competition because the obstacle list was announced beforehand, which for ninja is quite unusual. Normally, it's you turn up on the day with no idea what it's going to be like, and so it was quite a different competition going into it to be like, okay, well, I know what I'm expecting, and so you can already start to sort of plan out your tactics a little bit. And so it started off, and you run through, and then the first obstacle you get to is 4 sort of rings in a row, on ropes as well. So you've got different levels of rings that you can go for. And then once you've gone off that one, a little bit more run over some mats, and then a jump to sort of like 2 parallel wave bars, followed by some 4 quintuple steps or quadruple steps, I guess, round the corner to then loop back on yourself to 4 more steps, and then a jump to sort of, you got the option of 3 swinging bars, and then dismount, and then you've got 3 sort of wagon wheels to go along, and then some mushroom steps, and then another of the parallel wave bars, followed by a spider wall, and then the warped wall at the end for the buzzer.
That wall.
Beat the wall.
So it's really interesting. So I guess because I've got the obstacle sports the athlete guide here, and I've got all the photos of it. So you were saying actually this is different, that normally you turn up and it is what it is. Because actually one of my first questions was, how do you prepare if you're not allowed on the course first of all? So I guess, Viktor, coming to you, did you get to look at the photos of the obstacle guide, and did that help you with your strategy and how you was going to prepare to take on the course?
Yeah, I think all obstacles in the course very simple and easy, but I was strategy overcome all obstacle course, not take mistake, only fast run, concentrate obstacle course. Yeah, and start, finish, buzzer only. My strategy.
And Beth, how about you? Did it help you kind of strategize or come up with a way of taking on the course?
I think it's interesting because on the one hand, it allows you to think about what techniques you're going to do, but on the other hand, it makes you second guess all techniques you're going to do. So it's good because you can try and plan it, but I think you've got that other element of, because you can plan it, you really have to think about it. Whereas normally, if you don't know, you just kind of have to almost improvise and go with whatever feels natural. But so yeah, that was really different, and really interesting to see sort of what your brain does in that situation.
It's interesting because we've got our map expert here, and I think Becky, I'm sure you've got a few things about it, but I guess Beth, I think you're right. Sometimes it might just be you might just overthink it because you see everything there and you just think so much. But Becky, what about you in terms of a strategy of if you've got a ninja course in front of you like this?
Yeah, I mean, it was interesting to see those different techniques they were on display even on the very first obstacle. And I wonder how much influence there was by the round order. I think it was random in round 1 and then seeded in reverse speed for round 2 based on the first performance. So I wonder whether people are actually, I expect they are, watching each other and seeing if somebody else has come up with a technique that they hadn't thought of. For example, the first one, I'm pretty sure I saw you, Beth, with your hand not on the rings and instead on the straps between the vertical rings. So you got less tangled up, or it's just faster. And then similarly, I think it was young Charisma, am I pronouncing her name right? She linked two obstacles, I think, instead of going to a platform, the swinging bars to the spinning wheels, I think, which may or may not have been faster. It depends on how quickly you jump, land, and take off. But I don't know, do you think, Beth or Viktor, whether seeing each other race also influences your strategy?
Yeah, I think it definitely does. Like, I know that I changed my technique from my first run to my second run, partly because I watched other people and what they were doing. And a lot of the men, so I know that Viktor, in your race, when you got to the wave bars, the first one, did a big jump and
Big jump
got
to
over
front
halfway. So I thought that was really cool, and I was like, okay, well, maybe I'll try that. And I won't get as far because I'm not anywhere near as explosive and strong as Viktor, but I'll give it a go.
And Viktor, did I see you jump and catch something with one hand, like the parallel bars? I know people were doing it one hand on each, but it seemed like you just had one on one side and then never on the other side.
Which obstacles?
I think the wave parallel bars. You
No.
jumped and caught on one hand, and then we were off, or maybe it was Hollis or somebody.
Yeah, for speedrun, I strategy we go jump to middle and one jump and skip to box and next obstacles.
Just one touch and you're finished.
No, not one touch. I take two touch. Two touch.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Would have taken me 10.
I'll still be there myself. So actually, Becky, you touched on something really interesting there, and Viktor, can I come to you first? So after you've done your first run and you've watched everyone do their first run and maybe the different techniques, what did you change, if anything, for your second run?
My first run results, it's well, but I first second round my plan better and risk speed run jump, but I take mistake last obstacle spider wall. I jumping from bar to buzz, not buzzer, where is it, box, yeah, to box, and my body up down, and mistake, not better time, but risk, yeah, the sport risk.
Yeah, so and we'll go through the results in a second, but I saw your winning time was 20.9 seconds. So you're saying you did that in your very first run, and so
Yes.
that allowed you to maybe take a few more risks on your second run because you knew that was a pretty good time. So you could, try something riskier to try and be faster.
Yes, I want better time and risk. Yeah, I want maybe 18 seconds, but I think it's possible, but not.
Wow. I was just about to ask you what you thought was possible. 18 seconds that's pretty much 3 seconds off your winning time. That's crazy.
Wow.
And Beth, basically same question to you. So you've done your first run random, you've done whatever you did, you watched everyone else do it. What were you thinking about your second run then?
So for my first run, I was trying to just get a good safe time in almost. I didn't want to push it too hard in the first run, because so the men ran first and the women ran after them, and we'd seen a lot of people go really fast off the starting line, and some people had made some mistakes which were not really expected, and so everyone's really pushing it for time, so you can make a mistake, and I wanted to get a clean run in first, just so that then I almost feel like the pressure's off a little bit for the second run. Like, you've got one clean run in, okay, and then you can choose to take risks on the second run and not be as worried about it. So that was kind of my thinking for it. And so I did sort of pause on like some of the transitions between the obstacles. So my sort of thinking going into the second run was try and make that a bit cleaner. So the transitions between obstacles, don't hesitate. Just as soon as you're on the box, go. Don't hang around. And I think sort of that helped me. So I did get a faster time for my second run. Although I did, in changing my technique for the jump to the first set of the horizontal wave bars, I tried to change my technique to go quicker, and it actually was slower. So, swings and roundabouts.
So you could also take a few seconds off your time, you think?
I think I probably could, yeah.
There's definitely like a learning effect. Obviously, more practice, you're going to go faster. So it'd be interesting to see like how many times you would have to run the course to plateau at your fastest time. But yeah, I expect you're already very good at reading the obstacle, and also you never fail the obstacles. So I expect like if once you just decide to land, jump, go, then you'll reach that kind of maximum speed pretty quickly.
Yeah, I mean, it was interesting actually. So I looked through all the results of everyone's first and second runs, and it's a pretty even split as who gets a faster time on their first run or their second run, which I wasn't expecting that. I was expecting it to be that almost everyone's second run would be faster.
That's really interesting, because it also shows the importance of continuing after you've made a mistake. Because sometimes people go, oh, I made a mistake, and because they've previously raced in competitions or competed in ninja competitions where it's furthest fastest, they've then stopped. But this one, it was a 15-second penalty and carry on. So you need to basically fail quickly and carry on, and not let that kind of get in your head. So do you think that people were like thinking of that, or were they failing, making a mistake, and then being like, oh, shame, I might just stop there? Then people go, oh no, carry on.
I think for some of it, you can definitely see when people fall, there's a sort of a couple of seconds where they're like, oh, and then everyone sort of in the crowd is like, no, keep going, go. And that sort of encourages them on. But then there were a couple of other people who made a mistake, but were already sort of clearly thinking, no, I need to go. And they still managed to get pretty good times. Yeah,
because if you made another mistake on your second one, you might actually need that first one, even if you did have a mistake. So yeah, never give up. At least you're not wet, like on the show, right? You wouldn't know about that because you guys never get wet.
I've gotten wet in previous seasons.
We were talking about the car before you jumped on, Becky. So, Beth, I guess it doesn't really. This doesn't really apply to Viktor, because he did such a great fast run on the first one and by the time he was the last person in the second run, he'd already knew he won, which is why I guess, Viktor, you took some risks. But Beth, I guess coming from the other way, you knew you had to be faster. So what sort of pressure did that start to put you under, and how was your kind of mental agility, going into then knowing that you had to improve?
So for the second runs, we didn't see the times as they were coming through. So we didn't officially know who had gotten what times. So I think that almost sort of took the pressure off a little bit, because you're not sort of worrying about that. Like, obviously you can tell when someone's done a fast run because, they're really quick. But I think I was trying to just focus on trying to improve my time. I think I try and think of it as long as I'm happy with my run, then if someone else beats me, then they deserve it. So I don't really try and worry about that too much. But still, you can say that as much as you want, but you get to the start line and instantly you're sort of jittering and everything. I think I said to one of the officials beforehand, like, I've got a heart rate monitor watch on, and before I'd even started my first race, it was 120 beats a minute, just from the nerves and the adrenaline.
Anticipation. Yeah.
Yep.
Viktor, do you get nervous like that?
I nervous now. Now for me really hard to speaking. I understanding, but speaking for me hard. Overcome obstacle course easy for me. Now really hard course. Uh, like stage 3. Yeah, my mental. Okay.
Podcast is harder than Ninja,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, harder, of course, for me.
So Victor, just talk about nervousness. You obviously saw when you turned up, you saw who else was participating and all of your competition, and also the females as well. But did that make you nervous? Was the atmosphere nice and tense? Were you excited before you run, or are you in the zone and just concentrating on that run?
Yes, I was excited. My friend for race, my friends. It's really so strong and fast runs. It's so excited and supporting. But I'm not nervous because only concentrate for race. Only and my opponent only me myself. Yeah, and course only. Yep.
When you saw the course and how it was set out, was there any particular sequence of obstacles together that you thought may be quite tricky, or did you think I can go for this? Everything's easy. I just need to go as fast as possible.
Yes, I think for men's this course it's easy, only technical and no if no mistake it's okay. Fast run, speed run, overcome obstacles, plan, strategy, uh, everything obstacles, strategy. Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
really hard now. Really hard. Yeah.
So I'll just go through the top five. Victor, of course, you were first in 20.9 seconds. Tommy Matthews, 21.4 seconds. Corbin Mackin, 21.6 seconds. Jack Andrews, 22.8 seconds. And Hollis Lansford in fifth place, 22.9 seconds. Both Jack and Hollis also in the 14 to 17.
So
But
close.
oh my god, that top five is so close. Those top two, sorry, the fourth and fifth were so close. But it what, as you say, that's not even a mistake. That's just a very small trip or stumble or just putting your hand in. It really is just literally a split second between the top five.
Yeah, I think just lucky. And but this 100 meters course, like speed run, not speed run, speed climbing, millisecond, yeah, results. And if stronger and faster athletes, so close time. Yeah, it's fantastic show and interesting for athletes fighting. Yeah, it's fantastic. I'm just lucky maybe because young men, Hollis and Jack, so fast and strong. Tommy, unbelievable. Corbin, yeah.
I don't think you're just lucky, Victor. I think you've been training hard as well. But for this kind, for a speed race like 100-meter OCR, what do you think is the most important part of training? If it's less difficult and more speed, what do you think is most important to train? What type of training?
Train technical obstacles, overcome obstacles, and cardio, and run, speed run.
And Beth, going over to you, just a similar question, but actually slightly different. So you guys watched the men go first. So I guess the adrenaline was that little bit more in terms of kind of just watching them before, the females went off. But in terms of knowing who was going again, was there anyone that you thought actually they're going to do pretty well, so I've got to not necessarily beat them because I know it's you against the course, but were there any particular names or people that you thought I've really got to, up my game here.
So I think it's when the sort of competitor list was announced, it's more like the excitement about who's going to be there and who you're going to get to see and catch up with. That's sort of like the main thought that comes to mind. And disappointing not to see Becky there, obviously. But but yeah, it's just great to see everyone and sort of get there. And like I've been seeing all these women compete and everything, and so you look at everyone and you're like, yeah, everyone's in with a chance. So as you say, if you make a mistake on the course, that puts you 15 seconds behind, and with such a close field, that can be the difference between first place and 10th place or something. So yeah, I try not to think about placements or where I want to place or anything like that beforehand, because I find that just stresses me out. So yeah, I just sort of focus on the actual obstacles and the technique and just try and go there.
This was the first one of the season. So tell me about the atmosphere, the excitement going around the whole course, all of the participants.
Yeah, the atmosphere was great. It always is at these competitions. Everyone sort of is chatting away to each other, whether or not you've met someone before or not, you're just chatting away. And there's this sort of like this shared love of OCR and of Ninja and of obstacles in general. And it really, really brings people together. And sort of everyone's sort of chatting to each other, and everyone's all got the nerves or just sort of happy. And I think especially with this one, with it being for speed, every time you see someone run, everyone's like, oh my god, did you see that? Like that was so quick, they've already done. Which was really cool, and it really sort of like did make the atmosphere very sort of electric.
It also seemed like everybody went very quickly after each other, like the event ran fast as well. Can you tell us about that?
Yeah, so normally with ninja competitions, like they give you a sort of time frame, and it always runs over, always, because everyone is just sort of like going through it, and everyone's doing better on the courses than I guess has planned for. And yeah, it was really, really well organized, and it was very sort of like smooth, and you'd get sort of 5 people in front. You'd have someone be like, okay, you run 5 people, come over and get ready. So everyone was prepared, and where they were meant to be at the right sort of times. And because the course didn't take too long to reset either, as soon as the other person had hit the buzzer and the course had been checked, it was like, okay, you ready? Ready. All right. And so it was very, very smooth. Very impressed with it.
Great.
So before we go on, I just want to announce the top 5, of course. So Beth, yourself, Beth Lodge, 32.8 seconds. Mila Stanzani, 36.8 seconds. Mikhailov, 39.5 seconds. Alex Arndt, 48.6 seconds. And Shaila Duhani, 51.6 seconds. So again, actually pretty close, especially the top 3 then. And again, it's all down to not necessarily a big mistake, but just missing a handhold or just taking that quick pause of taking a breath and going, oh no, I need to go the next time. So again, really, really, really close there. Beth, I just want to go back as well in terms of kind of with the men going off first, and that's what, an extra 15-20 minutes, half an hour before the women went off. So how did you, or even the other females, prepare to I guess wait whilst trying to bring that adrenaline down? Because I don't know whether you guys watched all the men, but actually that will probably get the heart rate going. So how did you mentally prepare before each of the runs?
Yeah, so Aaron, my boyfriend, he was the first runner up of the day, and so I obviously watched his run, and that actually sort of, I think, made it worse, because he went out on his first run, and on the wagon wheels he went for a big dismount and got a bit too much height and smacked his head on the last wagon wheel and sort of fell to the ground and was a bit dazed, but carried on and he was fine. But so you see that and you're just like, oh no, that's not what I wanted before, like in my head before going to prepare and everything. But after checking he was okay and everything, and you see some other people run, you're like, okay, well, I've got to just focus on that. But it's nice to actually see the runs, so you can get that into your head a little bit and then go and do a bit of a warm-up. So I quite liked it. I quite liked having the men go first because it gets you used to the atmosphere and used to the adrenaline. so that then when it's your turn to get ready, you've already sort of gotten that initial bit out of your system. So then you can sort of just warm up the way you need to.
And repeating Becky's question, in terms of it being Ninja, being so fast and so speed, what things would you suggest that you would train to, to shave those milliseconds, those half seconds out?
Yeah, so I think for me, it's practicing an obstacle in lots of different ways. Because I think with Ninja, with it primarily being just get through it. I mean, that, not entirely, but that's kind of how I think about it. If I can complete an obstacle, I'm happy. But with these speed competitions, completing an obstacle is not enough. And so you need to be able to have different techniques easily reachable so that you can just pull it out, and easily changeable as well, that you're comfortable with to try and get faster depending on what the obstacles are. So I'd say that's one of the important bits for me. And also like the mental aspect of it, with you having to go so fast, your brain has to react quite quickly. And I think that's a part that I probably don't train enough. And I think some of those like reaction games where someone says, oh, go to the left, and then you run to the left and you catch a ball, and then all that sort of stuff, just to get you sort of agile and get you moving and thinking almost like instantly, I think is really important.
Yes, decision making.
Absolutely, yeah.
Adapting, yeah. Do you think, Viktor, do you think that if you do more races that you'll get better at that decision making and the mental planning of the races?
Yeah, I think in training and races.
Both. Yeah, they're both helpful, yeah.
Yeah, I think having a mix of both is useful, because it's, training is where you can refine the techniques and get stronger and all that. But I think also competing is training in a way, because you've got to learn how to manage the nerves and the adrenaline, and how to put that training into good use. And I think, I've got the background in sort of competitive gymnastics, so I've got that almost training there. So it's interesting.
I totally agree with that. I've been on the start line of track races before, and everybody around me has been so nervous. And people say to me, well, why aren't you nervous? And I'm like, well, I'm not stood on a beam in a leotard being judged with an audience like at the age of 5. Like, it's in comparison, it's not that that bad.
Exactly, yeah. And you get used to how to handle those pre-competition feelings, and it then means that you can channel your training easier, and you don't have to worry about that as much.
Yeah.
And I guess just going back as well, in terms of, what I found really interesting to you, what you said, Beth, about learning the obstacles, but being able to learn it in lots of different ways, and how to, finish it and complete it in lots of different ways. Because obviously, as an OCR athlete, sometimes about efficiency, but I think for a Ninja athlete, it's not necessarily about efficiency. It's about your transition to what's the quickest way of getting to the next obstacle, which may not always be the most efficient or kind of the most beautiful way, but actually what's coming next for you to just adapt the way that you're going to be completing this particular obstacle. And as Becky said, it's always about thinking, making those decisions as quickly as possible, and understanding what's coming next for you to really, get your body, I guess, in the right way or the right shape to get to the next one as quickly as possible.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's definitely a big part of it. When you look at the sort of like order of the obstacles, sometimes you can think, okay, well, I could do this obstacle quicker, but it'll deplete my strength in my arms. And I know that there's another obstacle sort of relatively soon after, which is quite a strength obstacle. And so maybe you make a decision to, on the one which you could go faster on, not do that technique, so that you can better do the more strength intensive obstacle later. So it's all about sort of knowing your own capacity and knowing where to channel your resources, I guess.
Becky, this was the first one of the season. What's coming up next?
So this was the British Obstacle Sports 100 meters, and it was a selection event for European Championships in Hungary and the World Championships in Belgium to represent the UK team. So after that, there is more opportunities to compete in a 100-meter race and also have the chance to be selected for the team as well. The next one is at Tartan Warrior, which is in Scotland, on the 25th of March. So there'll be a 100-meter race there. There's also other events. So there's a 3K and an 8K, I believe, which is part of the Scottish series as well. And the 3K is also a selection event for age group at Euros and Worlds. At Worlds only. So well worth going. You don't have to go just for 100 meters, because I know obstacles races are still hung up on that, even though Olympians do it, although they probably get paid more. And then eventually there'll also be another one at the PT barn, and the date for that is a bit later on.
28th of May, I think that one is.
28th of May. I'm just scrolling, just checking. Yes.
What?
Yes. 12th of June. Oh no, that's the application selection. Yep. Good. You're correct. 28th of May.
I'm assuming just coming back to Tartan Warrior. Is that going to be an outdoor 100 meter?
They have a small indoor space, but you can't fit 100 meters in it. So it may be a combination. I don't know. Don't know the course yet.
Let's not worry about that, because the question to both Viktor and to Beth: what changes for you for an indoor course versus an outdoor course? Beth, do you want to go first?
Yeah, so for me, I struggle with the cold quite a lot. So if it's outdoors, that is my main consideration, is how many layers can I wear? And also, like with it being outdoors, you have to think about if the weather's going to make a difference. So if it's going to be rainy, does that impact what obstacles and how they feel are? So I know that sort of one of the questions is, do you wear gloves or not? And for me, I have never trained with gloves. I've never used gloves, so I probably wouldn't. But I sort of maybe more steer towards that if chalk or something was allowed, then I would probably go for that to try and prevent any of the potential weather-related impact on any outdoor obstacles.
Would you enter a competition if it was outdoor, Ninja?
Outdoor?
Yeah. Would you?
Yeah, I participate so many competition outdoor in different countries. It's if not rain, it's rain, right? It's okay. Yeah, obstacles. So very nice grip. Yeah, if rain, but really difficult for everyone. Sleepy for fast run. Difficult just running, and jumping and speed slowly, and new strategy, if sunny day, it's perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's something to mention, is that the UK is quite unusual in that it films its Ninja Warrior TV indoors. A lot of the other countries film them outdoors. So I know that Australia, America, Vietnam, Japan, they're all filmed outdoors. So I think we're quite sort of lucky, I guess, in a way that we are able to do it indoors. So maybe we're a bit too used to that. So we need to be pushed outdoors a bit and out of our comfort zones.
Viktor, do you prefer, if you was outdoors and the weather was terrible, would you prefer rain or strong winds?
Strong winds?
Yeah.
Where is it, strong winds?
Blowy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which one is worse? Heavy rain or strong winds?
Because strong winds, like a eagle.
Yeah. Yeah, it might be more fun actually if it's strong winds. You could fly.
Just like
Just like an eagle, yeah.
like an eagle.
So Viktor, we know you're in Switzerland right now. So what's next for you? What's coming up next?
My next competition is this Saturday from IXGL, from Cornell. Make a competition in different countries: USA, Japanese, European. Last competition in Liverpool, I was first place, and this Saturday really strong participants, really strong guy, because in Germany Germany have strong athletes, strong ninjas. Yeah, and
Good
And
luck.
Beth, yeah, good luck.
Thank
And
you.
Beth, what's next for you?
So I've got a couple of competitions coming up. I know that we've got a ninja competition at Ultimate Ninja in Colchester on, I think it's the 4th or the 5th of March. So I'll be heading over towards that one. And then I'll be attending Worlds and Euros, which I'm very excited for. So that'll be June and I think September, if I'm correct,
September,
right?
yeah, both.
And then I've also qualified for the World Ninja League finals over in America. That'll be in July. So I'll be heading over for that.
Nice.
Yeah, and then I've just heard that the Barbados Ninja Warrior, or the Barbados Ninja Throwdown, that's what they call it, will be coming back this year as well. So hopefully I'll get to head over to that, because I've not made it over there yet, and I really want to. So that's the current calendar, but there's always room for more. So
Always room for more. Becky, I know you're mostly obstacle, and I know you're training again for racing in April. But have you got any ninjas on the list?
I am going to do the 100 meters in Scotland. I've entered, so I don't know what will happen. Maybe if it's outdoors, maybe I've got an advantage.
Do you prefer rain or wind?
Well, I don't know. I've had a really good race in the rain in Hungary, and I was wearing gloves. So I sometimes do have some confidence, but it's obviously definitely harder in the rain. Yeah. I think that's my only sort of ninja-y one that I've definitely got planned. Yeah, some 3Ks.
I think being up in Scotland, probably wind, rain, and hail, and everything else that's coming
In
our
March,
way, right?
yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Great.
But I think never mind.
There you go.
I was just going to mention the team who's been selected automatically. I mean, we've got it from the positions a little bit, but another mention aside from our winner, for Miller and Imi, and also Tommy and Corbin. So that's really exciting for Euros.
yeah, I think that should be a really strong team. Like,
Yeah,
everyone there is, I'm so excited to see what the runs are like.
yeah. And they are the automatic places. There'll be another one from the winner of the Tartan Warrior. And then there's actually a few more spaces available. And the selection committee will make up those spaces. So some of these names that maybe came in the top 5, particularly masters or youth athletes, may well still be in the team. They just don't have the automatic selection just yet. So that's very exciting. And hopefully we'll be able to find that out in due course.
Okay, so tickets will be available at Tartan Warrior. Go to the Facebook page of Tartan Warrior to look at the tickets, not only for the 100 meters, but the 3K, the 8K. And also, if you just want to go have a little bit of fun, to just be in the open wave. If you want to follow along with Ninja and all things British Obstacle Sports, go on to Instagram and join British Obstacle Sports. Thanks to Beth and to Viktor for joining us as our guest today. You can follow Beth on Instagram at BethLodge19, and Viktor is ninja.sculptor on Instagram. Guys, thank you very much. Becky, of course, will be back again with us in March. You can follow Becky on the Runner Bean UK. Becky, myself, and Chris Shipley will be back in March. We're trying to put together our own special event after the UKOCR Awards. Hopefully that will work out quite nicely. So the Who's Hot podcast will be back sometime in March. If you haven't already, please do like, share, subscribe, follow, and download all the podcasts at UKOCR. So it's goodbye from me, Becky, Beth, and Viktor, and we will see you back again in March. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
We don't have to worry about nothing, 'cause we got the fire and we burning one hell of a something. They're gonna see us from outer space, light it up like we're the stars of the human race. When this out, useless song. I'm waking up. We start the fire, then we burn it up. And it's over now. We got the love. There's no sleeping now, no sleeping now. When the lights turn down, they don't know what they heard. Strike the march, play it loud, giving love to the world. We'll be raising our hands, shining up to the sky. 'Cause we got the fire, fire, fire. Yeah, we got the fire, fire, fire. And we gonna let it burn, 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 burn. We gonna let it burn, 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 burn. Gonna let it burn, 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 burn. We gonna let it burn, 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 burn. When the lights turn down, they don't know what they heard. Strike the march, play it loud, giving love to the world. We gonna let it burn, 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 burn. We can light it up, 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 so they can't put it out, out, out. We can light it up, 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 so they can't put it out, out, out. We can light it up, 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 so they can't put it out, out, out. We can light it up, 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 so they can't put it out, out, out. When the lights turn down, they don't know what they heard. Strike the march, play it loud, giving love to the world. We'll be raising our hands, shining up to the sky. 'Cause we got the fire, fire, fire. Yeah, we got the fire, fire, fire. And we gonna let it burn, burn, burn.